Y'all know what time it is. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, but my co-host Ray Jeezy's out. But I ain't gonna be alone, so we'll get into all that stuff later. But I just heard good news. I heard that Big Meech is free. He a free man, so BMF about to be lit. You already know what time it is. I watched that show nonstop with 50. That show is about to be lit. I can't wait to actually see if 50's gonna give dude that appearance that I've been waiting for. So Big Meech, what I'm saying? We've been talking about free Big Meech. He out here. He outside. So that's what's up. But also, I mentioned the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you check us out at www.urbansportscene.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and all other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. Also, like this video. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, search the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. The Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 800. We're getting close. So I need y'all to hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG at Urban Sports Scene. And like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. You can also check out our weekly NFL picks on the Football Garbage Time website. Just go to www.footballgarbagetime.com. It's part of the Urban Sports Scene versus Football Garbage Time Pick'em Challenge. All right, let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Rome from the Sports for the Culture podcast will join me to talk about the Commanders losing the Beltway Battle to the Ravens, and also D tackle Jonathan Allen being out for the season, and also the Commanders taking on the Carolina Panthers on Darrell Green Day, where he gets his jersey retired. So let me introduce the homie right now. Let me introduce Jerome onto the show. I got to do this, all the particulars real quick, you know what I'm saying? Because, it's got to be a two-shot. Can't be a one-shot. We got to make it a two-shot. And also, I had to kind of make sure my man is in the building correctly. What's going on, Rome?
What up? What up? What up?
And glad to have you on, bro. How you been? How
Yeah,
you feeling?
glad to be on, man. Glad to be on. I was a little under the weather earlier today, man, but I couldn't miss this. Urban Sports Scene is one of my favorite shows,
I appreciate
especially
you, bro.
locally in the DMV. So getting the chance to be on with you was meaningful for me.
Oh man, glad to have you on, man. I mean, I saw your pod. I like your stuff, man. Because I like when people do real barbershop talk. I don't like phony crap. You know what I'm saying? So I like your pod. I'm actually subscribed to it. So before for myself, I know about your pod. But can you tell listeners about your podcast?
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Gas Sports, that's good ass sports. Sports for the Culture is the podcast. We're live about 10:30 every Tuesday. And like you said, it's kind of a barbershop kind of style. We have people on from time to time. We do interviews, we do all kinds of stuff. But we always try to give that culture feel where we integrate sports and culture. So that it's not just like a buttoned up X's and O's kind of thing all the time. You can kind of speak how you really feel, say it with your chest. That kind of stuff. So we do it for the culture. Yeah, I know that can be kind of cliche nowadays, but it really is for the culture. My man T is a local basketball coach. We got the Gas AAU, so
Mm-hmm.
we also are integrated with that. I myself also coach some football things, so we try to stay involved in the community as well via sports. So
Yeah.
we start with sports and then we try to expand it with whatever we can. So.
Bet. So how can folks catch the pod? Like what channels?
You can definitely check us out on YouTube. That's Good at Sports on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. You can subscribe, and I believe we also have an app you can download us. We're on Apple and the Google Play Store as well. That's Good at Sports. Gas Sports for the Culture.
You already know what time it is, bro. My man he's putting it out there, man. I'm already a subscriber of his, man. I like his style. See, man, what I'm talking about, man. We out here.
Appreciate it.
We out here.
Appreciate it,
Thanks, Mike.
Michael.
Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Paul, you better subscribe to the homie too. All right. He didn't gave you info. Bet. All right, he about to bet. What's up, my man? That's what I'm talking about, folks. That's what we come here, man. We real talk, man. Like, I started, podcasting and like early, like probably, I want to say like 2010. And like my whole grind was always like, everybody, initially like Paul, we talked to Paul before, and I was like, I want to, be on the radio and things of that sort. But when you start doing this, like for a while, the whole grind was like to put like, doesn't matter where your platform is at, try and get folks who started in the game, try to get them on too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
giving them those guest appearances or whatever, like, I don't care if it's too big or too low. Like, it's my whole thing is like, I don't care if you just starting, you mid in the game or you high in the game. My whole thing is just to get people, especially the beginners. I always want to get beginners or people who just started early on the podcast. 'Cause I feel like it's always good because I know when I started, some people weren't trying to have me on their pods. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always like, I don't care where you at in your podcast journey. Like, I want to make sure folks are on. You know what I'm saying? And it's the best
Yeah,
place.
most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with all that, man. You gotta reach out that helping hand, so to
Yeah.
speak. So, like, you gotta pull people up, and then when you, especially when you're on the top and you've already been through the grind and you know where
Yeah.
they're at, giving
Mhm.
that helping hand can be a lot, especially in the podcast world. I've never understood any beef or anybody that doesn't want to put somebody on, or like,
Oh
especially
man,
if our content is similar, why would we not chop it up? Why would we
bro.
not help each other grow? It's backwards to do anything else.
Oh, it's very backwards. I am not gonna lie to you, man. But I'm glad you have that thought process. We got to support each other. Definitely agree, Mike. We definitely got to support each other. All right, so let's get into nitty gritty, bro. Let's get into it. This game, what happened on Sunday. So last Sunday in a hard fought game, the Washington Commanders fell to the Baltimore Ravens, 30-23. Initially, what were your thoughts on the play of the Commanders?
I mean, that game went how I kind of thought it would
Hmm.
go initially. The defense was what let us down, right? The
Yeah,
Commanders fans, right?
yeah.
So we already knew Lamar, Derrick Henry, they were going to be a force to be reckoned with. They played a lot of 8-man boxes. They were ready for that run. But apparently, from what I'm hearing, is Lamar had a lot of opportunities to check at the line and see
Hmm.
what the Commanders were in. So they were able to beat them with play action, and that is
Yeah.
exactly how I thought that game would go. You got guys like Benjamin St-Juste and Noah Ignaagabi, if I
Hmm.
pronounced that right.
Yeah, right. He's
Forgive me.
Nigerian. You're right. You did a good job.
But right, and he surprised me this year. He's played well, but with those
Yes,
two
yes.
guys as your main corners and the young rookie out there, you're gonna get games like that where Lamar goes for 300 yards. So
Hmm.
my thoughts were that was how it should go. We're basically the little brothers right now. But that's not even in a negative connotation
Yeah,
necessarily. Like the Ravens are established. Lamar is a 2-time MVP. He's looking like he's going to be a 3-time MVP the way he's going right now. And
yeah.
so that's not like necessarily a bad thing. The Ravens are where the Commanders are trying to get to right now.
Yeah, no, no, I agree. Homie, my man Mike throwing shade at me. Rome, I don't know none of you, but I don't know of you. I don't know of you. Know that Wally loves to bet against us. Just putting that out there. What? Wait. Real talk. Real talk. Mike. I told you this, bro. I told you that I did that for like I'm superstitious, so I had to make sure like it was working. So this is the only it didn't work now. Like now look, real talk, it ain't work. So now I'm gonna go back on picking what I want to pick now. I let it go for a minute because it was working. Like I had us losing to freaking Cleveland. Like you know what I'm saying? Like obviously I wasn't that serious. Like come on now. So Mike,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, keeping the butt. I'm gonna keep it a bean. No, it doesn't matter. Well, like nah, bro, it does matter. It does matter. I'm superstitious. It matters. Like I did it for the culture. Look, it's like sports culture. I did it for the culture.
right.
I did it for the culture, bro. I did it for the Commanders winning culture. Oh my man, Paul said, man, Lamar was playing 7-on-7. But like my man Rome said though, look, he was checking out, so he had control of the offense. We talk about quarterbacking, right? That's the thing. Like we talk about quarterbacking. That's one thing I want to give Lamar his flowers. I'm a diehard Commanders fan. I'm gonna give Lamar his flowers for a long time, him checking out of plays, that wasn't a thing. Like people made it
Right.
seem like he don't play the quarterback position. But if you watch the game, just like we talk about how we're so impressed with Jayden checking out of plays, because Jayden kind of he checks out of plays too. Like Lamar was checking out a lot of plays. So we kind of think we gotta give him flowers to a point where like you're saying, that's why I went to this game like you. I called it house money. Like
Yeah.
I was playing this game with house money. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this team was arguably playing one of the, at this point in time playing good football in the Baltimore Ravens. So Washington caught them at a time where they weren't playing bad football, they were playing good football. And then you know what I'm saying? Like for us to compete with that team, like I don't care what anybody says, we competed with that team. For us to compete with that team says a lot about this ball club. Like you went into a game without Brian Robinson. You went into the game without like you're going on the road against the Ravens. It's not like you're playing a home game. You're on the road, and like you went man up against a contending Super Bowl team. Like this team is people. When you look at the Ravens, folks think they can go to the bowl, and
Right.
you went into B more and competed. So to me, when like I know the goal is to win a game, you want no moral victories. But if you told us before the season started that we weren't going to Baltimore and the only way they can beat us is on basically icing the game on a 2-minute drive, 2-minute kill, that means we were in the game. Because I want to hear that talk. Like some people were saying, like it wasn't as close to it. Look, dog, you had to ice the game with you had to run it out. Like it wasn't like the game was already in doubt. You had to if you stop them, you get the ball back. That was the thing. If you stop them, you get the ball back. You couldn't
No,
stop
right.
Derrick Henry.
If it came down to being able to stop Derrick Henry,
Exactly.
which is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
If we're being real, the Ravens are playing with two MVPs or two
Facts.
potential MVPs,
Yeah.
and Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. And
Mhm.
my man Bryce, shout out to Bryce on the Sports for the Culture podcast with me.
Yeah.
He had been telling me for years Derrick Henry is the best running back in the league, and
Playing
if
like
you're a believer of that, if you subscribe to that, then him and Lamar Jackson are a cheat code over there in Baltimore. And
it.
really, there's no reason that they can't beat every team. I know some people might still want to ride with the Chiefs or whatever, but
Yeah.
look, I know the Chiefs beat them in week 1, but that was by like a toenail type of
Yeah.
deal. Like,
Exactly.
so I think the Ravens are definitely the best team in the AFC, possibly the best team in all of football. So losing to them, being their little brother, that's not necessarily. I don't believe in moral victories either. But if there was ever a time for one, this would be one.
Yeah. How it showed us how like my man Mike said, man, I cracked up laughing when Wagner ran past that fumble. Bro, who you telling?
Yeah, that was a
That
wild play. That
was a wild
snap,
play.
like I think Bobby
Yeah.
Wagner was like, "What the hell?" Like I
He
didn't know
was
what Lamar was doing on that play. I was like, "What the fuck happened?"
I'm
Like,
telling you, like I was a wow. Like I was like, come on, bro, really? Like you ran
yeah,
right
bro,
past the fumble, like right
bro
past the
snapped it
ball.
into the ground. Like
Yeah,
I don't even think you could try to do that.
nah, exactly. I told Paul, like I was like Paul, we was in the I think my man Paul was we was texting each well, we was in the X chat, and I was like, man, the Ravens are trying to give us this game. They trying to get in the beginning, they were trying to give us this game.
Yeah.
And I felt like a play like that, if you get that fumble, that could change like the outcome of the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought
Oh,
you get that
absolutely.
fumble, it changed the outcome a little bit.
And those are the kind of plays that the Commanders need because that
Yes.
defense, they've proven that they ain't stopping anything for real.
Yeah.
Like Lamar took them boys on like 2 90-yard drives in that
That was
game.
nice. That was nasty
Like that
word.
was crazy.
That was nasty word.
Like I feel like the Commanders are trying to play a bend but don't break style, and they
Yeah,
just
they
keep
are.
bending until they break. And
No.
I don't know if it's gonna get any better. I don't know if they're gonna make a move here in the secondary. They need to. I wish they would have went after my man Gilmore, but
Yeah.
Witt
I mean,
Witt
Paul like that.
and Witt and Quinn had him last year in Dallas, so they must know something that we all don't know. So I'll rock with them on that. But the
Mhm.
secondary that they put together right now, bro, I don't trust that thing long term at all. And I think this Ravens game showed a lot of my fears, to be honest. Like
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson, how many times has he thrown for 300 yards in his career? I feel like it's not that often that
Not
Lamar
often.
throws for
He looked like
300.
he's about to throw for 400 that game. That's
Right.
the
And
bad word.
he looked like he was having one of his best games of his career
Yeah,
against our secondary, bro. Like
I agree.
that might be the worst secondary in the league. And that's going to be a problem if the Commanders really want to make noise.
Yeah, no, I might. Yeah, because you got St-Juste as your number one, so you know that's bad when you have him as your number one. Like, don't get me started. I knew this game was over when they decided to. I mean, I actually had a bad feeling when they decided to inactivate Emmanuel Forbes, because I make the argument that as much as people hate this Emmanuel Forbes, he's better than St-Juste to me. That's a whole different argument. Like,
Hey, let's get into that real quick,
yeah,
bro.
dig into it
Because
for real. Like, so
because
for real talk. Like, all right, let's go into it. Real talk. So Emmanuel Forbes was inactive. Obviously, everybody knows the first round pick last year. Um, but we saw what happened with St-Juste. He got worked. He got worked by every receiver on the Baltimore Ravens. That's why when people say Zay Flowers, I'm like, y'all didn't watch the whole game. It wasn't just Zay Flowers. It was they like Lamar literally picked on him. So let's go into
yeah,
St. So first off, let's talk about what was your thoughts before we get into the comparison about Emmanuel Forbes and St-Juste. What was your like on his play? Did you have issues with his play? Because some
with
people,
St. Juice.
yeah,
So this is my thing, and that's why I said we should get into it because a
yeah,
lot of the stuff on Twitter, on X, and Commanders world,
yeah,
St. Juice gets a ton of hate, a
yeah,
ton, and some of it is unwarranted. I
yeah.
understand where it comes from though, because the Commanders are rolling him out there, as you said, as the number one corner, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to work.
Yeah.
St. Juice cannot be the guy that you roll out there to cover Jamar Chase for 4 quarters.
Facts.
St. Juice cannot be the guy that you roll out there to cover AJ Brown. to cover CD Lamb. Like that's not like if that's your game plan, it's a flawed game plan, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that's what they're doing. So all St-Juste can do is play his best ball,
Mm-hmm.
which from what I'm seeing when I throw on tape and when I watch the game,
Yeah.
he's putting his best foot forward, but he's just not good enough to do what he's being asked of.
Yes.
So the fans, rightfully so, are going to cook him
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know. The only thing that I think can be done differently is to bring somebody else in because St-Juste just doesn't have the talent to cover Zay Flowers one on one.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point about the comparison with him and Forbes, the Commanders need Forbes to become that guy or to
Yeah.
become at least at least give us what St-Juste has given us, or you know what I'm saying? Like we need two number twos because right now you have a number two and a rookie, and then you
Yeah.
got my guy Noah who's playing above his means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was a guy when we all looked at the roster at the beginning of the season, you weren't sure if he was making a team, right?
Mm.
Now here we are, 5, 6 games in, and he's your number two, number three corner. You got the rookie playing outside, which wasn't the plan.
Mikey. Yeah. Mikey. Yeah.
Mike, yeah, so he's playing outside, which originally wasn't the plan, but that's how bad it's been on the corner. Inactivating Forbes,
That's nasty work. I don't care.
I don't think he's played bad enough to be
Exactly.
inactivated,
That's my point. That's my point.
and I don't want to get too rumorish, but like my thing is like he had the thumb injury, right? And then
Yeah.
he got surgery, which initially he had practiced. I don't think they were gonna go the
No, he
surgery route,
practiced. Yeah, he
but he
practiced.
chose to get the surgery, which had him out. So I don't know if there's some inner workings or something in the like because obviously with the Jahan Johnson thing, right? When they
Yeah.
traded him, I believe that there was something with the coaches and Jahan that they just weren't clicking with the team.
Yeah. It wasn't
I
good.
don't. They didn't draft Jahan. They didn't draft Emmanuel Forbes. So maybe there's some inner issues with that. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Forbes isn't getting along as well with the coaching staff or in the locker room or something. But for him to be inactive is kind of a red flag because for everybody out there that wants to say Forbes is just as bad, if not worse, than St-Juste. There's no reason that you could tell me that Forbes should have been inactive and Mike Davis was active. You know what I mean? Like the way the secondary
Oh
looks,
dang,
there's
Mike
no
Davis
reason
active.
Forbes can't be out there.
He was active, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's dirty work. I didn't even
You know
think
what I
about like
mean? Like
that's
like I
nasty.
don't think Forbes has played well at all by any stretch, but he doesn't deserve to be in street clothes.
Let me tell you
Or
what annoyed me about it. Like to be honest with you, because prior to his, like, so when he played in the game, I think when the game he came back. He came back. He did. Wasn't the Cincinnati game? Or was the game after Cincinnati? Was it the Browns game? I think it may have been the Cincinnati game. It may be Cincinnati or the Browns game, where he actually looked all right. The game he got to come back out the injury. Like he looked all right. They put him in. He looked good. He didn't look bad at all. Actually, I think it was the Cincinnati game. I kind of think it was the Cincinnati game. Because what was the game prior to Cincinnati? That was the what game?
Giants.
The
That was the
Giants.
game he got hurt, I think.
Yeah. So the game he got hurt. He got hurt. So it's after Cincinnati game. Excuse me. He looked
Yeah,
all
the
right.
Cardinals.
The Cardinals. My bad. The Cardinals. Yeah. So he looked all right. He actually looked all right in that game. So going into look, he looked all right in that game. And I was like, okay, he getting his confidence back. So I was like, all right. So then when he gets DM and then against the Browns, he barely played. Barely
Yeah.
played against the Browns. He played like in mop-up duty. And then I'm thinking, all right, he's still not, to your point, you're playing against the Ravens. You still need all hands on deck. Like you should have he should be active. There's no reason for him not to be inactive. Like I don't care what excuse you want to put out there. He should be active. And this is the thing. Now I'm gonna go into the comparison with him and St-Juste because this is what bothers me. Because I feel like there is some type of double standard though. Like when it comes to when I talk about Manuel Forbes, when we talk about Manuel Forbes being beat in the NFL, right? It's always about against a number one. It's against it's like, and it's always one dude. It's not multiple dudes. It's one dude. AJ Brown, he got beat by DJ Moore. It's always your best receiver is torching him, like may torch him. But they're the number one receiver, just like we talked about St-Juste. My issue with St-Juste on Sunday, it was like Oprah giving out cars. Like and they were picking on him thoroughly. Like, all right, St-Juste on him. Okay, you get a bag. St-Juste, Bateman on you. Oh yeah, Bateman, you get the bag. It wasn't just Zay. It was every receiver going at and Lamar would target him. Dog, I don't care what you are, but one dude is targeting you, you're a problem. Like you're
Yeah.
a problem. I don't care how handsy you are. I know people get mad about the PI and say that wasn't a PI. It's like stop trying to baby it. Like dude got Like he got bodied by multiple receivers on Sunday. But like but when Emmanuel Forbes gets bodied by like a notable receiver, and it's one dude, like we always say, why is Emmanuel Forbes on AJ Brown by himself? Right? That's it. Like, why is he on? Why would he be on Jamar Chase? Like, why? Like, yeah, why would you do that? But no one's. They're not saying, okay, if you hide Emmanuel Forbes and then put him on the opposite on the number two, they're not targeting Emmanuel Forbes like that because he's only number two. But St-Juste is a dude that's gonna get targeted. Like he is shown to be targeted. So to me, I'm like, all right, it can't be like it just can't be football. Sometimes I be thinking it just can't be football because it is like a double standard. Because if it's going off of what we've seen how this regime has acted, Mike Davis got torched by neighbors, got benched for
it. Yeah.
Forbes got beat in week the first couple weeks we got beat, was benched for it. Barnes, even before the injury, he got benched.
Yeah.
Oh no, he got benched. St-Juste got torched today.
And St-Juste, to your point, St-Juste has been the most consistent corner playing. I don't have the snap counts in front of me, but I'll be looking at them Jones. St-Juste, out of all the corners, him and Sanders still are the only ones that get consistent PT. Yes. And St-Juste has gotten cooked. It's not like he's out there making plays. You know what I'm saying?
Cooked. And Mikey a rookie, so I give you that. He a rookie, I'll give you that.
Right, and he's played very well. Him and Noah, I would say, are playing above their means right now. They're playing above their means, and if Forbes can get on it, then I think the Commanders might have something. Yeah. But you're never gonna know what you have if you have him inactive, right? Like I don't think he's played himself all the way into street clothes. Like if he's out there in this get up, we got big issues, and I like you said, I think it might be more than football. It might be deeper than football.
I think it's so much deeper than football because it just makes no sense to me. Like when you and I know, man, corner is a tough position. My man Lee Biden, who plays corner in the league, he says like, man, he loves all corners because it's a tough position. Like when you get fried, it's magnified. But like. Facts. But also on the flip side, you could tell when somebody is it's a bad feeling when people are just going at you. Like it's a bad feeling. I get they're going at you, Jamar Chase. All right, I get they're going at you because Zay Flowers is on you. I get it. Like that makes sense. Like it's Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers was a top pick. He's a top wide receiver pick. I mean, they're going at you with Bateman, who a guy that everybody started to question.
And to your point too, like, and I don't want to rag on St-Juste too hard, but it's like there's levels to it because the DB is a hard position, especially corner. I think it's one of the hardest positions. I don't want to like toot my own horn. I played it in high school, right? So I know a little bit about corner, but like there's no one-on-one.
You're supposed to your horn, but you're supposed to.
There's no such thing as a true one-on-one when you're a corner, right? The quarterback knows the route that the receiver is running. It's always 2-on-1, right? And like you said, it's always magnified. If you get beat for 6, everybody and their mama can tell that you messed up. If middle linebacker messes up, I just saw the running back, you know what I'm saying, make a big play. I didn't realize who messed that up. So it's more than obvious, but there's levels to it, and you can get beat in man coverage on a play action pass by a Zay Flowers because he's top tier receiver. Yeah. But you at least got to make the tackle. You at least got to be in position to get him down. That's when I draw the line with St-Juste and really any NFL level corner, because I'm like, bro, if y'all are giving up a 15-yard catch and then completely whiffing on the tackle so my man can get another 10, 15, like, nah, bro, now I need you up off the team. Now I question why we didn't bring in a different corner if you can't even get bro down. You know what I mean? You're not only are you allowing the catch, which is one thing, but you're not even in position to get the tackle, bro. That's unforgivable.
Yeah, it's nasty fucking work. I'll tell you, that's the truth. That's what it is. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It really is. My man Mike said Jamin Davis should have been active. Yeah, Jamin was inactive. I'm gonna ask you that. I'm gonna ask you too. Do you think Jamin should have been active, knowing the quarterback you're playing against?
That's a tough one. Moving Jamin Davis to end is tough, right? Because I don't think he's ever done that until this season.
Yeah.
So he has a huge learning curve, but I actually think he could be nice at that spot. But again, I would have to say I agree. Having
Yeah,
them inactive, like you gotta give him the reps. You gotta give him a package. Let him be in there on third down. Maybe he's just rushing the passer. Maybe you
right.
don't need him to be there in there on rundowns. And
Mhm.
that might be some of the reasoning why they didn't have him in. Right, you're going against Derrick Henry. They do a lot of 2-3 tight end sets. They got a fullback all the time. So maybe you're thinking I'm not really going to use you for more than 5 snaps today. So that could
Yeah,
have been the reason with Jamin Davis. I say Jamin Davis inactive makes a little bit more sense than Forbes because at least on the D line, you can say that you got some players. You can't really say that in the secondary. So I think Forbes definitely should have been out there.
yeah. I that yeah. See, my man Paul said that was game plan. Throw in 25. It seemed like it. It seemed like it. That's why I don't go through the like people would try to make excuses about, oh, he was checking Zayd. Zayd wasn't the only one giving him work. Y'all got to stop. Like, look, man, I don't like to be overcritical on players because I do. Like, I always say, like, dude, you play it better than me. Like, I can't tell you that you trash if like I'm not better than you. You know what I mean? I feel
Right,
real like, but also on the flip side, if I'm really just assessing like the position you play compared to the NFL, like
right.
yeah, like you're not to me, you're not better
Right,
than
and that's
some.
why I'm the
Yeah,
same
go
way,
ahead.
bro. Because I don't
Yeah,
want to sit here and trash Buddy like
yeah,
I'm trying to say like I can go out there and I can cover Zay Flowers. Hell
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
I'm not gonna be nowhere near Zay Flowers to make no damn tackle.
Facts.
I'm
Yeah,
judging Benjamin St-Juste off the NFL level and the NFL standard, and I'm sure Joe Witt and all of them would agree that they would at the very least like you to be in position to get Buddy down after he catches the damn ball.
exactly. My man. Let me see. What's my Mike said. Quinn shows favoritism to what he calls Benji. I agree. Like, dude is a to me, it's something. Like, also, obviously, when you look at Dan Quinn and the cornerbacks he's coached in the past, he does fit the model in terms of body type. You know what I mean? Like he had Sherman in
Yeah,
Seattle. Like he likes tall, lengthy corners. But I'm gonna say this. This is gonna sound mean, but them dudes can cover. Like they can cover, like they can cover. Like even Browner in Seattle, like yeah, he was a handsy dude who got PIs, but he can cover and he was around the football. Like he was around the football.
right.
St-Juste is not like that type of corner. And to your point, I know people make the argument he's a number two. I don't even think he's a number two. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's a number
Nah, that and that's what I was gonna say. It's debatable. Like it,
two. Yeah.
depending on the roster that you put together, he's a number three. Like him on his best day is a number two. If St.
Yes.
Juste were to give
Exactly.
you everything he got, he could be your number two corner. But and I mean this respectfully, he'll never be a number one corner.
Never.
Forbes at least still has some level of potential that you could potentially get out. To your point about Dan Quinn's style of corners, I think Forbes, he might not be the right build, but he
Yeah.
has a knack for being around the ball. He's
Yes.
aggressive, kind of like the ones in Dallas were.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that would be a fit. But I think Forbes, man, I think he's just lost his confidence. I
Oh,
think he came into the league, got torched by Brown, and the internet let him have it.
yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like me and you, we're older gentlemen, but this younger generation, they really live and die by that internet, bro. Like
Oh, they do.
they really do. Like
Yeah.
I got kids and I've seen it. I coach and I see it. I
Yeah.
see it a lot. So I'm sure that affected him to some extent. Playing a
Mhm.
position like corner, you got to be able to be confident out there. You got to if you don't believe in yourself at that position, you're already beat. And I don't care who you covering. So if he can't get his confidence all the way back, then I don't know what's going to happen. But I love the Forbes pick when we first drafted him. I thought it was a great pick. I
Yeah.
was very hopeful.
Yeah. You're the only one. My man Paul, who's on here. I remember I wanted Gonzalez. I did, but he told me
Yeah, I did too.
I did want I mean, I think everybody wanted Gonzalez. Like, but I wanted Gonzalez, but I wasn't mad at Forbes. I know my man
Right.
Paul was telling me like Forbes is one of those before the whole draft process. He was telling me how Forbes is a guy who got a lot of interceptions. He's a guy he's a playmaker. He's
Yeah,
not
always around the ball.
always around the ball. I'm like, okay, I like those type of dudes because to me, like if we didn't get Gonzalez, I'm not going to blame Forbes for us not getting Gonzalez. But what I will say this is about a player like Forbes. Like typically in the NFL, if you want to keep it a buck, that's why I'm not totally angry with the pick. Like if you get picks in college, if you're a guy who's a ball hawk in college, that typically translates in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to keep it a bean, like yeah, you can get burnt, but but you're always around the ball. I can name you a bunch of dudes in my lifetime of watching football. Terrell Buckley we got burnt, but he's get picks all the time. Dre Bly, same way. When you them type of dudes in college, when you get picks and you're a guy who like Rasheed Mathis, who played, he went to an HBCU, led the nation in picks, went to Jacksonville, second rounder, second or first rounder. Was one of the best cornerbacks in football because he was he can get turnovers. That typically always translates in the NFL game. So I'm just surprised it hasn't translated right now. But to your point, I don't think it's an ability. I think it's confidence. Because I do
Yeah.
think that to your point, once the stuff happened on social media, like people kept pounding on him or whatever, he was, he got off of social media for a little bit, like things of
Mm-hmm.
that sort, like because he was getting trolled heavily. And this generation is a little different. Like
Right.
you gotta be
Right.
real
That
careful.
shit
Like
matters to them.
it does matter. And I feel like I wish our fan base really understood that, like how much they drag people sometimes, especially a young dude. Like when you're dealing with a young dude, like you want him to play well, like you drag him thoroughly, then you can crush his confidence. A vet's
Facts.
different. Like a vet's different. But a young dude though, like it's gonna hit different, bro. It's gonna hit different.
It definitely is, man.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, it affects everybody differently.
Mm-hmm.
Jayden, for example, is obviously a young dude, a rookie, but
Yeah.
he's got this poise. He's already shown that he can handle stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not trying to say that Forbes can't handle it as a man either, but like
Yeah.
obviously it affects everybody different. And I feel like the way that it started for Forbes and the way that he got dragged by the fan base, by the people that are supposed to be supporting you,
Yeah.
that could definitely
That's
affect you
insane.
and all the changes that happen. You went from one coach to another coach, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot going on. And then you got to go out there and you still got to cover some of the top receivers in the league because just within the division, we got Malik Neighbors, CD Lamb, all kinds of dudes. So
Yeah.
I completely understand how Forbes lost his confidence, but I would, and that comment was perfect because I was about to say I would put that more so on the coaching.
Yeah.
Like you got to find a way to build Buddy back up because, like
Yeah.
you said, it's definitely not a talent issue.
It's
You don't
not.
get that many picks in college,
And the SEC.
and and the SEC of all things too.
Yeah.
You playing against good other talented
Bama.
players,
You playing wide
and
receivers, bro.
you just lose it, right? Because I think he's
Yeah.
had like what one pick in his career
Yeah.
so far.
One pick. One pick.
So I don't think he just lost his ability. I think he lost his confidence. So hopefully he gets that back. If he does, it could be scary.
Yeah, I mean, he had like a high school coach last year, man. Like, what we doing here? He had a high school coaching DBs last year. Like that was Jack Del Rio's boy. Then you go this year, so you're transitioning from that to like this situation. And I just say like this coaching staff is 10 times better. So I'm not saying they're not better, but I mean it's to be determined with Joe Witt right now because it's like his first year calling plays on the desk
Right.
coordinator, and the defense ain't like the defense is lighting things up. Let's keep it a buck. So like we'll see how it is. But I know like one thing, like I was in camp doing some covering some things. I'll say this much: he's by far the best cornerback I saw in camp on the team, by far.
That's kind of how I feel from just a straight talent perspective. I feel like Forbes is the best. Like if we were just going to run one-on-ones or
Yeah,
something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel
yeah,
like Forbes is the guy. But they got to be able to translate that into the game. That really goes down on coaching.
yeah. My man Jeremy said fans wanted Christian Gonzalez instead of him. The fact that he was drafted by Rivera didn't help him garner fan love either. I agree. I think that's what it is. It sucks, but I totally agree with that, man. I just feel like people are hard on him off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Like cornerback's a hard position. Like Jayden came in, I think, with fanfare, so it wouldn't really matter. I think people kind of would give Jay. It wouldn't matter.
Right.
Jayden's playing well too, but he came in with a different fanfare. And just like Jeremy said, he's not drafted by the Rivera regime too, so that kind of helps. But also like Jayden's an older player. He's an older
Oh
rookie. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So he's a mature. It's just different. It is. It's different. He said, "Yeah, Paul, he's instinctively the best. Yeah, he's instinctively the best corner. Like he has good
Right.
instincts. Like he
Yes.
does. You
That was
know,
well put.
yeah. Um, Jeremy, if Forbes is the best, why can't he bring it to the field? I mean, he's still the best. He could be the best. Why you think that St-Juste is that much better? That's all I'm gonna say. That's like you think St-Juste? I mean, I
Right,
don't
and
know.
that also goes back to coaching and roster building. I mean, I know it takes time, but like they seem very content to go out there with St-Juste and
Gotcha.
Forbes and Mike Davis. Like that was a crazy. Like going into the season in August, bro. I was bugging out thinking like they're really gonna roll with this package of corners, bro. Like that's wild to me.
I'm gonna
Like
tell
to be
you this.
honest,
Yeah, go ahead.
if Forbes isn't the best corner, then Sanders still is, right? Like
Yeah,
that's who I'm between
yeah.
as best corner
Oh,
on
yo,
the Commanders
Sanders,
right now.
Mikey's the best corner. Like I won't even
Right.
like Mikey's the best corner. So that's the truth. Mikey's the best corner. I won't lie. Like he did play the. I'm gonna take my statement back. Mikey was the best corner in camp that I saw. But Forrest is better than all them other dudes. I won't even lie to you. Was better than like Mike Davis was laughable. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yo,
I
I
was like,
couldn't believe we even signed Buddy, bro. Like when they announced that, I threw on some all 22 and he was getting cooked on the
yes,
fucking Chargers, bro.
yeah,
Like he's just another St. Juice. Like I
yeah,
couldn't believe it.
yeah. Noah has been good. I won't like Noah has been good though. Noah has been good. Like
Yeah, Noah has
in camp
impressed
now.
me.
In camp, he was out there. He wasn't to me. He wasn't better than Forbes, but Noah has been good though. Like Noah wasn't bad in camp either. Though. I'm gonna keep it a bean. He wasn't bad in camp for my. He's a physical corner. That's why like Noah's a physical corner. He'll get
Yeah,
into you.
he's not afraid to like get handsy. And in today's NFL, they throw flags all the time, but like you gotta play.
Yeah, and also to your point about that, he's also not. I mean, he want the smoke. It's not, and he's not
Right.
all like he's still around the football. He's around. Well, he's around his defender. You know what I mean? He's around him even when he's getting like he's not getting beat thoroughly. Like the problem with St-Juste, even though he's going one on one man up, like he's getting beat. Like he gets beat bad.
Cooked.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like that's the thing when it's okay to like again you no one's expecting you to be blanketing Zay Flower. You know what I'm saying? No one's expect or like, but dog, at least be blanketing Bateman, the number two. The number two was making you look like he made you look like nasty work. So that's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
there's
I
levels
mean,
to what
Buddy
you're
don't
doing
even be in the
early. Levels,
vicinity to get the tackle sometimes. That's what I can never forget, bro.
yeah. Like it was nasty. We talked about, but you know what? We talked about Jayden a little bit. But for you, how did you feel like Jayden measured up against the two-time MVP Lamar Jackson? Though.
Oh man, I thought Jayden was extremely impressive in that game, bro. Those passes to Terry McLaurin were some of the best passes I've seen all year. We can start with that first one
Mhm.
where he looked at his one receiver, went back to Terry, dime, bro, threw a dot. Only Terry could make that play coming across the field. And then the second one, with the fade, bro, when oh my goodness. I forgot which beat reporter posted it, but they posted Terry narrating
Oh
how they
yeah,
were
it was
going
amazing.
over it.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is some much watched stuff, man. That was good. That was good content. But that play was incredible. The pass was literally perfect.
mhm,
And for him to be on the same page with Terry like that already is scary.
mhm.
So I was super impressed with Jayden, man. Like as far as him and Lamar, I thought like we've already talked about Lamar having one of his best games, in large part because our secondary is kind of terrible. But the Ravens defense is really good. So I would say the level of difficulty for Jayden was much higher than it was for Lamar in that game.
True, true.
So if I'm saying who had the better game, who I was a little bit more impressed by, even though Lamar had a little bit better numbers and got the dub, I would say Jayden was looking like the better QB in that game. Not by much at
Mhm,
all.
mhm.
I know that's a little bit of a hot take. People are like,
It's
oh, of
cool.
course,
No,
this
no,
guy comes on with the Commanders gear,
no, no. It's fair. It's
hyping up
fair.
Jayden.
Paul gonna
But
agree with you. My man Paul gonna agree with you.
hey, I'm just trying to keep it a buck because
No,
like
no.
from
You're
what
supposed to keep it, but that's what you do. Go ahead.
and I said it on the Sports for the Culture podcast last night. What I've seen the
Mm,
first 6 weeks from Jayden
mm.
on in games and on tape, he is light years ahead of where Lamar was
I agree with that
when he was as a rookie,
by
as
far.
as a passer.
By far.
The stuff Jayden is doing right now, 6 games in, is the same thing Lamar just started to do like last season.
I agree with you. I
So,
agree
and that's not a knock on Lamar. I think
with
Lamar is MVP status right now.
that.
I'm just saying the trajectory for Jayden is through the roof.
No, I agree with that. I think that's where I'm at too. Like, so I mean, personally, I think Lamar outplayed Jayden, but that's like, it is what it is. I mean, I think that's because that as an older player, but by so, I mean, not by so much to your point, because what he had to work with. Obviously, Washington has one of the worst secondaries in football right now. But to be honest with you, because I do like the Ravens. I do a Ravens show too as well. And the Ravens secondary ain't good either. I ain't gonna hold you. Like that secondary ain't good either, which made me mad that we didn't do it. We should do more. Like that secondary has been torched by multiple teams. You know what I mean? Like they
Well,
got torched by the Raiders. They
that's
got
the
torched.
other thing too.
Yeah,
If we were to break down the roster, if we were to go
yeah,
like bill for bill, right?
yeah.
The Commanders receivers outside of Terry aren't really threatening nobody. You
I
know what I'm
agree.
saying? Like so, and not that Bateman is a top tier receiver, but Bateman versus the Commanders secondary, he's probably gonna get
It's
off.
who
You
they
know?
going against. You know, they're going against the Commander secondary. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Like
right.
it's just
And
like
vice versa with the Ravens secondary going against the Commanders receivers.
yeah. I feel like I'll give you an example. I'll give you a fair example. Like it was the right play. I'll give so Jayden. I just get it. It goes with time. Jayden hits Zacchaeus and he drops the ball
Yeah.
in that middle. He drops it. But if he looked, waited a half second, what's the name was already wide open downfield for a touchdown. Gianni on the go route because
That's
that's what Wiggins got hurt. That's when Wiggins got hurt.
Yeah, that was the same play
Yeah,
Wiggins got
you
hurt.
know what I'm saying.
That's
So
one thing that Jayden does need to improve on, especially from when I watched tape of him. That's the obvious rookie stuff, right?
yeah,
Like
that's rookie
he's not
stuff.
seeing the field completely yet. Like he's not
Yeah, it's
seeing. There was a play against the Buccaneers where he got blitzed and Terry was gone. They were in
yeah,
like a cover zero, but he
mhm,
just wasn't looking down the field and he
mhm.
ran. I think he ran for like 10 yards on the
Yeah,
play, but like.
it's still productive.
Right, right. That's what's crazy good about Jayden is it's like you're missing big plays and still getting big plays out of
Yeah,
it. Like that's the hard part. But I think once he starts to be a little bit more Donovan McNabbish and keep his
yeah.
eyes all down the field all the time, that's when it'll get real dangerous.
Yeah, Lamar is a vet, two-time MVP that got to feast off on a bad defense. Jay did well for a rookie against a talented defense. Yeah, I get that. Like, I think that like the thing with the Ravens offer, I'm gonna say their secondary isn't good. I'm gonna stick to that. I'm not changing my mind on the Ravens secondary. But the thing about the Ravens compared to Washington, the Ravens still they stop the run, so they will make you one-dimensional. As in Washington, that everything's open. Like their defense, everything's open. Like everything's open. They'll run. You can run on them. You can throw on them. So therefore, like Lamar can do whatever. There's more stress out there. Like Lamar can do whatever. Within Jayden has to go out there and win the football game basically because there's no run game. And always like again, I mentioned earlier, not having Brian Robinson hurts too. You know, hurts.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I think you have Brian Robinson, it'd be a little bit easier. You know what I mean? And whatnot. So my man Mike said Jay needs to look at Luke more because he stays open. Yeah, Luke McCaffrey does stay open. This is true. I used to be a Luke hater. I was wrong. Luke does stay open.
Yeah, I think they need to start integrating Luke a little bit more in the
I
offense, I
agree.
think.
I agree. He's getting open enough. He's getting open. But to your point, though, it's not. This is not. Jayden's going to get better in finding, like, seeing the whole field. Like you said, Rome. That's a rookie thing. Eventually, the game slows down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's going to slow down for Jayden. And when that happens, you thought he was nasty now. Jesus Christ. You
Right.
you you're gonna see something
And
totally
it,
special because
and this is with only a few weapons, bro. This is
yeah,
with just Terry, um, Brian Robinson, the tail
exactly.
end of Zach Ertz's career. Like,
Mhm. No, I'm with you. I think once he sees everything, it's going to be a problem. But usually, when you're that type of quarterback with his dynamic ability, you don't need but like so much. Sometimes you know what I mean. Like
right.
you don't need but so much. Like sometimes you just need the number one, a tight end, and a good running back, and you can go a long way with it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like
you see what Houston did with CJ Stroud.
yeah,
They didn't have very much last year, and then this offseason they
he
went
went he went ham.
and really loaded up. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I know it's only week 6, but I'm very excited to see what Adam Peters does 2025.
Yeah, but I would say this too, though, with different CJ. Like CJ is definitely a better. Here's the truth. He's a better pocket passer. So
Yeah.
CJ and he's a better pocket passer. What I like about Jayden is like, bro, he can make life easy because he can run with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He's good in the pocket and like, all right, if that dude ain't open, I can get you good 5 yards and we still get the chains to be moving. Like not everything
Man,
has
what one of my favorite plays from Jaden this year was not the well, who do we play before the Ravens? The Browns game, I think it was.
The
That
Browns.
4th and 3, that 34-yard run, bro. Like 4th and 3,
Yeah.
bro. Like, first of all, the fact that we even feel confident enough to go for it, what a
Mhm.
rookie QB is saying a lot. for the fact that the play essentially didn't work because nobody was open.
Yeah,
And then Jayden doesn't just get you three that you need, he gets you the next
all
play
of it.
is first
And
and 10 from the goal line. Like, bro, Jayden is incredible, man. And I know
yeah,
a lot of fans out there are like a little gun shy because of the RG3 stuff, and not everybody wants to you know what I'm saying, like fully embrace or not. I don't want to say they don't want to embrace it because they're embracing them, but
yeah,
I feel like people don't want to just all the way go in and say how good we are, how great he is, because he's been playing that great. I'm not afraid to do it, bro. Like
yeah,
I've said it multiple times on Sports for the Culture, because it's not all Commanders fans on there. I
yeah,
got my boy Scruff's an Eagles guy.
yeah.
T is a
Well,
49ers guy. So
they know what time it is, though. They know what
we
time it is.
we, we got some haters, but yeah, exactly. So I think the rest of the league is starting to realize, like, yo, like
Look, man.
Jaden Daniels ain't the next so and so. He's the first Jaden Daniels, and this is about to be something scary for the league. You see, the Bears fans have been hating hard.
They have to.
Uh,
They have to, though.
like I don't know why. I don't hate Caleb Williams.
I don't either. Like I hate that. Don't get me. I hate that people because he's local. I'm not going. I'm always for the local. So, but I'm never going to hate. I don't know why people try to pin each other, pin them two against each other. I think it's like nasty. Like,
I mean, I get the comparison because 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
yeah,
that's the instant comparison. But as far as saying like I hate when they try to tear one down
that's what I'm
to build
saying.
the other up.
That's
Because I haven't seen it. I haven't from what I've seen from Caleb Williams, he's played fine. Like if I'm a Bears fan, I'm I'm straight. Like I'm
yeah.
not even concerned with what Jaden's doing because
Of course.
Caleb's playing fine.
Yeah. I mean, you're 4-2. It
I
is.
think I think Caleb will end up pushing for Rookie of the Year when it's all said and done
I
anyway.
think that I feel like between the two, just it is what like one for anybody to say for either to say like, okay, you lost out on this or this, that, and the other. Dude, you only played 6 games. Look, let me keep it a bean. Like this is why I say this. I loved RG3, right? I loved RG3. But my favorite quarterback in that draft was Andrew Luck. But for a while in that draft, during that season, everybody was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
we got RG3, got the right one." I was like, I mean, yeah, I like RG3 a lot. Yeah, he's awesome. But I'm just like, I like Luck. I think Luck is whatever. Like I like Luck. You told me like my preference, it would be Luck. But during that process, during that year, you couldn't tell nobody that RG3 was the one. Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? That's rookie of the year. He was the one. Now, how it played out is something totally different. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, granted, injuries played a part in it, but you can't always go off the rip and say, like, oh, and within 6 games, oh, he's definitely gonna be better. Because you see on the flip
right.
side where that stuff changes, bro. Like, and it doesn't mean that that person took a decline. It could be the other person has now
It's risen up. Yeah.
yeah, so like I don't get into that. Like even like folks will get like I like Drake. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Drake May a lot in the process and going through the draft process. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
People were trying. Oh, he ain't start. Look, he ain't that good. And he got his opportunity. Now people are like, oh, he ain't that bad. I'm like, because y'all doing too much. Like just because you like somebody doesn't mean that you can't like somebody else or you gotta trash the next person. You don't gotta be all that. Just acknowledge the person is good and to keep it moving. That's it.
Facts.
You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? Like that whole like, but I'm with you. The Caleb thing, like people are like overly obsessed on both sides, bro. Are overly obsessed with each other. Because I'll be on X, and I'll be like, when Caleb have a bad game, people are like, oh, see, thank you for picking Caleb and not Jayden. I'm like, who cares? And vice versa. I'm like, what are we doing here? These are rookies. Rookies are gonna have bad games.
Well,
They're not
I'm
gonna,
just glad that the Commanders and the Bears both finally got a real QB because
yeah,
we've been having their games on prime time the last couple years, and
yeah.
they've been fucking stinkers, bro.
They're horrible,
So
bro.
I'm excited that this year the Commanders Bears will be an exciting one.
I totally agree. I totally agree. My man Donnell Gray Jr. said, "I love the direction this team is going. JD is going to continue to improve week by week." I totally agree. Finally, we have a regime that sees the vision of this team. I agree, bro. Totally agree. Paul said, "I watch film of Jayden. Wait until he gets really comfortable with his receivers." I agree.
No, that's facts.
Facts,
That's
Paul.
facts.
Facts. Mike said Jayden started 50 starts in college. He started in the NFL, and he's better than most QBs because most elite was backups. I mean, the starts in college did help out, like
Oh,
having
that
that.
helps a ton at quarterback, bro.
Mhm,
That's
help.
why, that's why personally I wasn't sold on Drake May some of those other guys, the QBs that come out that don't get a lot of starts,
Yeah,
I'm a little wary on because you got to have the reps, and you might not get them in the NFL, and if you do get them, they might be horrible reps. You might, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying, you might go out there and look crazy. So I'm a proponent of most of the time. I would say a rookie QB needs to sit unless the
yeah. I agree.
situation dictates otherwise. Um, with a guy like Jayden, he's already had some starts. You don't necessarily need to start a Marcus Mariota over him. So I think it was the right choice for the Commanders to roll Jayden out there.
Yeah, the only reason why I liked May was because I'm a believer in, just like I like Caleb, to be real with you. I'm a believer in like being him off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Like coming out of high school, them dudes were one of the top quarterbacks in their recruiting class.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like
Especially Caleb. Caleb, yeah,
Caleb was already deemed him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
May could have went Alabama wanted him. May spurned Alabama to go to UNC because his brother played at UNC playing basketball.
yeah.
He a Carolina kid, but Nick Saban wanted him. Like he's gonna be the starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like they were gonna get Nick. They wanted May. They wanted May. So May has always been like, they pushed out basically. They've been wanting Sam Howell leave because they knew that he was him. So then you look at Caleb, man. Look what he did Rattler in Oklahoma. He got Rattler out of there. Like he started as a true freshman. Then he goes to USC, becomes a Heisman, follows that up with, it's his third year. So to me, I've always been a fan of yeah, I agree with you, but I've always liked Spencer Rattler too. That's a dude I used to like too.
Yo, watch for Spencer tomorrow night, Thursday night. I think you're gonna have a big
I
one.
like Spencer Rattler. I mean, that's relative. I think for a rookie, he played good. I mean, for a rookie, he played good. For a rookie,
Yeah,
he played good.
definitely on the rookie curve.
Yeah, he
I
always.
think a lot of people too got to realize like most of the time when people talk about Jayden, they're still grading him on that rookie curve as well.
Oh,
Which
it's
is why
high.
they
It's high.
right. And I think if you were to compare him to some of the other elite QBs like we were earlier with Lamar and stuff, then you kind of realize like okay, he's definitely got some improvements to make. But when you look at him just as a rookie, that's why guys like me are so.
Oh
You
my
know what I'm
god.
saying? The sky is not the limit. The moon, we're going to Mars with this one.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So let's get into a guy who didn't finish the game. You got, but he's one of their notable players. Like one of the guys we deemed as leader. Jonathan Allen tore his pec, and looks like he is. He's going to be out for the season. First off, man, like what when you heard about the injury, what came to your mind?
Man, that was a tough one. Because John Allen, Deron Payne, you know what I'm saying, all the OGs that have the Terry McLaurin out through the owner change, the coach changes, the you know what I'm saying, all the extra drama. You know what I'm saying? We finally actually got a QB. We're finally winning. Things are finally going right. This is the most winning that John Allen's probably done since he's been at Alabama.
You're
And
very
then, you know what I mean? And then the Terrier Peck is a tough one, bro. Like missing the season. I think he wanted to get a second opinion. So I know he was definitely hurt by it. John Allen is one that I think also kind of tears the fan base up. I think most
does.
of the fan base is definitely over him giving any type of pregame speech. We don't necessarily need to hear from him a bunch, but at the same time, he's one of the best defensive tackles in the league, and he wasn't having one of his best seasons, him or Deron Payne so far yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think losing Allen definitely it's definitely going to be felt because
Mm-hmm.
now you got the two guys behind him in Newton and Mathis, who both can ball. Both, you know what I'm saying? Like, both are potential replacements for Allen. But I just feel like you have to see what they give you now that they're going to play more. It's one thing when you tell me you got these dudes on the come up that are basically role players, only going to get so many snaps to go in full time starter. So
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, like, well, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you ready to give it to, you know what I'm saying? Go out there, play in and play out every down. So we'll see how they hold up with more reps. I'll be honest, Newton's looking like a dog. Newton has been looking like the
Pretty
best
good. I
interior
didn't say it was
lineman
that either. I ain't gonna lie to you.
so far. So I'm excited to see what they do. But I'm not gonna act like losing John Allen is no big deal because it certainly is.
Yeah, I agree with Paul. Like, tough one, but it's Newton and Mathis time. For Darius has played better than many have thought. I expected Newton to be like that though. I did it. I think once he gets the more reps he gets, the better he'll be. He's coming. Don't forget, like he pretty much didn't play most of. He wasn't involved in most of camp because of the injury.
Yeah.
Now I feel like you'll get the best Newton next year. I'm gonna keep it a beam. But I do think that you'll see gradual improvement year by like game by game, though. I do think that. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they rotate their tackles, though. But I do think it does hurt. I mean, I'm not going to be. I think Jonathan Allen was starting to play his better ball for the last couple of weeks prior. So I think that he was playing better football the last couple of weeks prior to the injury. So I do think that we need to I know people. He is an individual that he's polarizing. He's definitely polarizing, for sure, because of this, like you meant, because of the speeches and stuff and things of that sort. But I do think that if you want to keep it a being, like he was playing better football, and had a couple sacks in prior games, so he was starting to kind of get his. I want to say he has the second half this year so far, but I want to say he was getting his mojo back little by
Yeah, these
little.
last 2 games before the injury, he
Yeah,
definitely was
he's
starting to
playing.
get
He
on
was
the
getting more
roll.
pressure because I would say in the beginning of the season he was real quiet. More quiet, definitely more quiet than Payne. But now I felt like he was playing better football. But I think it's gonna hurt. I mean, I don't like. Always felt like a healthy John Allen. We forget that he can wreck crap up, man. Like he is more.
Yeah, bro.
He's not a bum. Like, yeah, I get it. People get frustrated and whatnot. But he's not a bum. And I would make the argument there too, also that I'm not sure. In a different scheme, you may get a better John Allen. I'll say that much. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, right.
yeah,
I think that's undersold. I think John Allen went from being a leader on the team with Jack Del Rio
yeah,
to not being a captain at all because Dan Quinn picks a new captain every week.
yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So like not only are you not giving the speeches for the fans, but I don't think the locker room is in there hearing you. You're John Allen, I think, and a lot of these new dude or older dudes had to take a back seat to some stuff. And I'm not saying that they didn't handle it well, but I'm saying like I'm sure that was an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Outside of just playing on the field, I'm sure it was an adjustment to come in and Frankie Louvu's getting everybody hype. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely different for John Allen, and I feel like he was probably enjoying it because you have to do a
yeah.
little bit less, and y'all are winning. So I'm kind of torn up for him for the torn pec. I'm interested to see how this affects him long term. My question for you is: do you think this could be the last time we see John Allen in the burgundy and gold?
Kind of think
We
so.
we were talking about Newton and Mathis. So
I think so. I won't lie to you.
yeah,
I think so. I just feel like it's. I mean, one NFL contracts aren't guaranteed. You got Mathis, who's now a guy that folks didn't think was gonna make the team initially. Is now showing you why he was a second round pick. Newton is a dog. I'm sorry, man. Newton's a dog. I saw
yeah,
him at Illinois. He a dog. He's not them drafting him. I was like, okay, it's good for the rotation. But now, since you're giving them an excuse, you're giving them an excuse basically. Like you tore your pec. You're gonna be now you rehabbing. Folks they're gonna question, can you be the same John Allen? You know what I'm saying?
right,
Last year you had to deal with plantar fasciitis, so you weren't the same John Allen even last year. Now you got this pec injury. So now you can tag on the injury. You can put the injury tag on him, to be real with you. Like saying, okay, you get injured, so maybe we need to cut our losses. And then you got a young line who ready. Like he young, he
yeah,
healthy, he ready. So yeah, I think that if you look at the writing on the wall, I mean, I think there's a high chance this was his last game in Washington. That was his last game in Washington, and it sucks. You know what I mean? But and I do think John Allen, wherever he goes, I think when he goes somewhere else, he can be a Pro Bowler. I think he has that ability. So I'm not going to be the one to trash John Allen and be like, I don't think he's this, that, and the other. He's the type of player that I feel like he has a bunch of ability. And to your point, like he was
yeah,
playing on bad defenses for a while here,
right.
and was producing. So it's not like you can't come out and say like he ain't good. Like he produced at a high level at D tackle.
Yeah,
When he
I would say Allen is like top 10 D
yeah, when he's
tackle, if
going
not top
good,
5. Like
like when
he's
he's going good, he's a problem.
yeah,
When he's going
right.
good, he's a problem. So I just feel like this year hasn't. The last 2 years. I mean, again, this year was early, but last year wasn't his best year. But he was playing hurt last year. I don't know if people know that he was playing hurt last year. So like this year, like he started off slow, but again, like I said, he was starting to get his mojo back little by little. So um, yeah, I just feel like, but I'm gonna keep to answer your question. Yeah, I think it's pretty much his last game. I would love to be wrong though. I mean, I would love to be wrong. I always think that as much. I mean, you still have him under contract, and the most talent you have in the building, the better. But then you do got. I mean, you got a Johnny Newton who's just ready, man. Who is ready, and then you add that in with Mathis, who I feel like is now getting his confidence, and he's a physical player. I mean, why would I mean, in terms of cutting, I don't know where it would happen. What would happen if you cut him in terms of the cap? But if it doesn't hurt the cap to cut him and it gives you extra money, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that was what I was looking at earlier. I was thinking because I was thinking about this, and I think I don't think it would hurt the cap. I think
Mhm.
they would save money. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So when you start looking at it from the business side of it, and like you said, I hate to do that, but because I'm a John Allen fan, to be
Yeah.
honest. I don't dislike John Allen. I don't need any speeches from him. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to hear from him,
Yeah.
but I think he can play.
Yeah.
So I like I said earlier, losing Allen is going to hurt, and if this is the last game that he plays in the burgundy and gold, he will be missed down the
Yeah.
road. So
Like you said, he's talented. It's not like he's a bad player. I think people kind of like people look at him and you want like because they get paid and you want like Aaron Donald or something like that. And I
well,
mean,
a lot of the stuff was out of his control. You
yeah,
give speeches like he's given, and then Sam Howell goes out and throws 3 picks or something, and we lose. You know what I'm saying? Like
for
now you
sure.
look crazy and you do rag talking about you getting the fuck out of here. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
So it was just all a bad look. But like you said, man, as far as on the field play and stuff like that, like Allen's pretty undeniable.
Yeah, exactly. My man Mike says Allen was going into this and going to next season for more money. I mean, he definitely ain't getting the bag.
Yeah, not now. Not now.
He's
That
not
no
now.
wonder he wanted the second opinion.
Yeah.
that makes
He
that
did.
makes
He
a
did want
lot
a
of
second
sense.
opinion. Yeah, he wanted that thing bad. I was like, oh, bro, I think it is what it is. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't think you need a second opinion, bro. It is what it is. All right, man. Let's go to the Panthers game this Sunday. The Commanders are back home to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Commanders will retire one of my favorite, actually maybe my favorite Washington Redskin Hall of Famer Darrell Green's jersey at the game. Do you have any DG memories, my man?
Hey man, I mentioned it earlier in the show. I in high school I used to play corner. Corner was my position. That was my spot. And Darrell Green is the reason why.
I know this.
I remember being my son's age. My son is 10. In
Mhm.
my room, I had the big Darrell Green poster with
Yeah,
all his stats on it and all that. Like that. Like Darrell Green is the reason why I wanted to play football. Darrell Green is the reason I chose to play corner. And there was lots of other corners that I fell in love with too
yeah,
as the years went on. Fred Smoot being one of them.
yeah.
But Darrell Green, man, is special. Like that's old school Redskins games, old school vibes for me. Like I remember being a kid singing a fight song, watching Darrell return punts. Like
Mhm.
so, it's I don't have just one memory. That like for me, like thinking about Darrell Green and all that kind of stuff is like it's almost like a holiday or like a birthday or like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he was the player, especially in the '90s because that's when I was watching and the Commanders got bad or the Redskins got bad in the '90s. But he
yeah,
was always that one player that the whole league respected, regardless. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And we didn't have too many of those. We had Sean Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there wasn't too many players that were on the Redskins that were just straight respected because of
mhm.
their talent. And Darrell Green was always that every year. So I don't have a specific memory, man, but for me, Darrell Green is just the classic nostalgia Redskins.
My man Paul said favorite green moment was the punt return against the Bears. Everybody has that play. So I'm a good like that's a good play though. For
Well, that's
me,
one of the greatest plays in
yeah,
the
ever. Like he
franchise.
cracked his
Yeah.
hold his ribs. He was cracked. He was on some messed up ribs. Um, I mean, I have so many. Because Daryl Green, I mean, I grew up watching. I'm an '81 baby, so I keep it a bean. And I remember why I watched. I watched in terms of my own memories of watching him growing up. Like the Super Bowl year we won in '91. I remember Daryl Green was one of them. Like
That
like
was the year with the pick against the Vikings.
no, that's before that.
That was before.
That's
Okay.
before
Okay.
that. That's before that. That pick's before that. That's what you're talking about. That was like eight. That's when we went to the Super Bowl. I want to say it's 87, like 87. You're talking about like to get it, the NFC Championship game, right?
Yeah, the NFC
80,
Championship
that's
one.
87. I'm gonna list 87. I was like, I remember the Super Bowl. I remember the season like I want to, but I remember the Super Bowl. Like, bro, I remember Doug Williams in that bowl. Like, I remember that. I remember that bowl. But for me, like 91 was special because, like, he like the whole defense was like that. Yes, 87. I'm right, Paul. That was 87. Yeah, definitely 87. So for me, like he went against everybody, like Michael Irvin. I guess a younger Michael Irvin. When Michael Irvin, he had battles with Michael Irvin. He had battles with that year we beat everybody. The Eagles had like Calvin Williams, Barnett, some other guys. The Giants, like Darrell Green will hold it down. Martin Mayhew will be on the other side. Darrell Green will hold it down. But for me, what like about Darrell Green, what I liked about him, I used to like get like I used to like go to school and be like, Darrell Green's the best cornerback in football. I don't care what y'all say. Everybody pick Dion, right? Obviously,
Right,
everybody pick
right.
Dion. And I'd be like, well, Dion get picks because Darrell don't try to get picks. All he wants to do is knock the ball down. That was my argument. I'm like, but nobody. I said Darrell never getting burnt though. Like Darrell's always
Nah,
around the
yeah.
ball. Like Darrell is always around the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like by the time I was watching Darrell Green, like he wasn't trying to get interceptions like that. I know prior, like if you look at the stats, he was getting picks. But when I was watching him play, like 91 and through on, like Darrell would just like be around. He would just tap the ball, like he would just like tap it away. Like his whole thing was just making sure folks didn't catch, didn't have a great success rate against them. So
Yeah.
Darrell was never the cornerback being picked on. It always it was Anthony. It was Carter. I was Anthony Carter. I forgot his name. He got drafted by Notre Dame. I mean, he went to Notre Dame. Got drafted by the Redskins. It was Carter. Martin Mayhew used to get picked on. Every secondary cornerback got picked on, but Darrell Green used to hold it down. So to me, like Darrell, nobody really chanced Darrell because Darrell used to be on him. Darrell to me, and he's like you said, everybody respected Darrell Green. Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, like Sterling Sharp back then. All these dudes were
Right.
your favorite. Chris Carter, your favorite wide receivers growing up at that time had put much respect on Darrell Green's name to a point where even it was dope to even see like even though it was old Dion and old Darrell, but they were on the same team when Daniel Snyder decided
Right.
to like, pay everybody. So
Yeah,
there was
that was a crazy year.
and Champ Bailey, Champ on the
That was
squad.
that was a crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
crazy.
had
Yeah, I'm
Darrell
thinking about
Green,
something.
Champ
Damn,
Bailey, and Deion Sanders,
we
bro.
got Darrell Green and Dion. So like, but I'm just happy. Like to me, I know we talk about Shantae. Shantae's amazing. One of my favorite Redskin commanders. I'm a Redskin. Like he wasn't commander. But to be real with you, I feel like the all-time greatest Redskin may be Darrell Green. Like he's
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like he is to me the greatest Red. It was always for me, it's always between Art Monk and Darrell Green. You know what I'm saying? And to me, like when I look at Darrell Green, there ain't no football player that's impacted my life in terms of watching football that I used to like go hard for. Was like that was it. Like Darrell Green, I used to go to school arguing everybody about Darrell Green. Like that's how real he was to me. Darrell Green to me should get a statue. The jersey they ain't even
Yes.
enough. Darrell should get a statue. Like he should get so much.
They
Like
did
that's why I'm so
a
glad that like to me, that's why I'm so not to be dirty, but that's why I'm so glad they scheduled Carolina to do it. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Because I ain't
oh yeah,
want to do it.
this is a homecoming game.
Bruh, you get it. You get what I'm
This
talking
is a
about.
homecoming
You
game.
get it. Like you get it.
I'm not even trying to disrespect the Panthers because I think they're better than people are giving them credit for. But this is a homecoming game because you don't schedule that without what I'm saying, a blowout in mind. So
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you. They Paul said Green, Monk, Riggins. Yeah, some like all-time greatest Redskins. And maybe Jayden Daniels will be on that list too. But yeah, to your like it's a homecoming game. I did my argument before the season started. Like I was like, initially I was like, don't schedule the Cowboys. I don't want that type of I don't want to lose to no Cowboys on Dale Green Day. Like I want a homecoming game. Like I want it to be like
right.
I want it to be this type of game. I know it sounds funny, but I'm serious. Like I want it to be this type of game because this dude needs to be appreciated. They need to win on his day. This is a must win. Like
And
for me, I'm gonna say this
Forbes
is a
needs to
must
be
win game.
active, and Forbes needs to get a pick.
Yes, for real. Like it's a must. This is
That
a must.
secondary got to step up, bro.
Yeah. So for you, is it a must-win game because of all the theatrics?
Oh yeah, definitely. And not even must win in the sense of like, oh, if we lose, it's gonna be like the sky is falling. It's
Mhm.
more of a must win in the sense of what they've already shown me.
Yes.
This offense has already shown me that it's capable of dropping 30 any game, any opponent.
Mhm.
The Panthers defense has shown me that they're willing to give up 30 to any game to any opponent. So I
Mhm.
think the offense, I'm fully sold in now. Like
Mhm.
I believe in what Kingsbury and Jayden and them are doing. So I have expectations at this point. The defense is
Mhm.
a little shaky. Um, so will it be like a classic blowout? Maybe like how we did the Browns? Maybe not. Maybe the Panthers put up a little bit more fight. Maybe it was a little bit more interesting of a game. But I expect the Commanders to pull away, win this by 2 scores.
Do you just? Oh, you should, I mean, I feel like it should not be close at all. I'm expecting a Browns type of output. I won't lie to you. I am. But I know like their offense is is definitely better than
Yeah, because
Deshaun.
what the hell is Deshaun Watson doing?
I know. I know. I don't know. Man, it's like messed him out in terms. I root for that dude. That's why, like, I don't be caring about being canceled. I root for that dude, and that's one thing. Like, that dude is done.
Yeah,
Done.
I don't know. I can't. I remember when we first started the Sports for the Culture podcast.
Yeah,
One of the debates was Deshaun Watson and Pat Mahomes. You
that's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying.
Like what?
Fall off, right?
I'm like, what happened to Deshaun, bro? That's crazy.
I had this conversation with my brother. Like, think about it, bro. He was compared to Mahomes. It was
No,
like,
we
dude,
thought that they were gonna be like the
yeah,
Peyton and Brady type
seriously,
shit.
seriously. You're on wild,
Buddy
man.
fell
Like, this
off.
will sound real effed up to folks. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but maybe he needs to get massages in a different route, like a legal joint. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like
So,
something, bro.
because
Something was wild over there.
old
Cause he
boy
his
lost his swag. That's all I'm saying. Like, John Allen said it. I know it bring it back. He said dude lost his confidence. I see it. Like, he definitely ain't. That ain't the same Watson I saw in Clemson and his rookie
hell
year.
nah,
That ain't
bro.
the same dude. And I actually had, and it's wild because I had read, like, when he got drafted by the Texans, I even thought to myself, I wasn't even sure. Like, I don't know if he would like translate in the league. I thought that to him initially, but then when I saw him play, I was like, no, he just got that dog. Like, he just got that mentality.
Right.
It's just his mentality. He don't got that mentality anymore. Like, that what made him great, he don't got anymore.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like how we were talking about Forbes, man. That confidence is in the
It's,
mud.
it's in the mud. Like, it is shot. Like, his confidence is shot. But yeah, like, so back to the game. Like, I expect them to really drown, like to ride this team out. Like, I expect them. The first thing they got to do, and we can go to keys. The first thing they got to do is they got to stop the run game. Carolina does have a good running game with Hubbard.
Yeah.
Man, they got a good running game. I'm with you. Like, they do have weapons offensive. I think Deontay Johnson could be a problem. If you have problems with Zay, they're similar in terms of twitchiness. You got problems with and no, Zay is better. So I'm not saying that Zay ain't better, but they got similar skill sets. And I think that he could be a problem for you. If you had a problem with Zay, you're gonna have a problem with Deontay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm guessing you're gonna still try to play the same type of brand of football because you're gonna probably try to take away the run game. So you're probably gonna bring an extra man in the box because you're not really concerned with the passing game right now until they make you concerned with it. So I do think they'll try to take away the run. Because I think if I was a coordinator, I would try to take away the run. I'd make him I
Yeah.
would try to make him one-dimensional.
Yeah, well, Andy Dalton, you got to. I think they definitely will take away the run. I think that goes back to John Allen being out. That is a lot easier with him
Yeah.
in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll definitely shut down the run and put the Panthers in some passing situations,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're going to blitz. I'm not calling a Browns type blowout, but I could see that
Yeah.
because this is a game where the defense can look a lot better than they did against the Ravens. Like that, the way the defense looked against the Browns was how they looked against the Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
almost night and day. Like where was my guy Luvu? You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, he was one of the best free agent pickups
He
the
was.
Commanders
I
had
agree.
in a decade, and then he kind of vanished against the Ravens. He did pop up on the injury report, I
Yeah.
believe, today, but
Mm-hmm.
Luvu's got to get back to blitzing. You're blitzing Luvu on third down against the Panthers with Andy Dalton. That's a win for the Commanders 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So I think if you can definitely get them in passing situations, then advantage Commanders.
It's Evan. Like, so. I don't knock Luvu for what happened. Cause I call him my tribal chief for the Commanders. Um, but I don't really knock him for, like, he played against Lamar, so he's elusive, so it's hard, to get at Lamar. And also, I mean, like, I mean, the this offense gonna line up to what he's accustomed to going against. Let me put it that way. Like, this offense,
Right,
you know what
right.
I mean? Like, this is gonna be
Like
he's in the
and
same
Andy
type of
Dalton's
offense.
not Lamar,
Yeah,
and
exactly. He's in the
Hubbard's
same,
not Derrick Henry.
yeah,
So I
exactly. Like,
expect a better output.
yeah, I mean, the closest thing he played well against was probably Kyler Murray, who's a mobile quarterback, but Kyler Murray too likes to stay in the. He's an interesting young dude anyway. But anyway,
Yeah,
like, like, this is going to be a matchup that's conducive to what Luvu does. I expect Luvu to have a big game. To be honest with you, I expect the defensive line. They should do well. You know what I mean? They should do well in this game. But you never know. Like, I mean, Andy Dalton, can get the ball out quick. He can't get the ball out quick. But when you get Andy Dalton to hold the football, because that does happen, he makes mistakes.
yes.
So they should try to, like, that should be the game plan. Having Andy Dalton hold the football. Take away the run. That should be the first thing. You take away the run. then I feel like you can get success out of that. But I'm not concerned with Carolina, and I should. And I feel like Carolina's defense is solid. It ain't a bad defense. You know what I mean? It's a solid defense, but it ain't nothing like if Carolina's offense isn't dominating, then eventually I feel like Jay ain't gonna crack that defense. That's just what Jayden does. He'll crack that defense eventually. You may give him the first couple of series, but he'll crack
Look,
your defense.
we've talked a lot about confidence on this show, and I just feel like the Panthers defense especially is a unit that's playing with very little confidence. Like
Mhm.
I think they're better than they've played.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
talented than that. Yeah,
they I it's almost like how we were talking about John Allen and them having to get used to having a QB with Jayden Daniels.
yeah.
Playing defense is a lot easier when you know your team's gonna go back out there and score. If you have
Mhm.
no faith that that's gonna happen, then you can quit, you can throw in the towel.
You
So
said
that's
that.
why I kind of think even if it's a close game for 2-3 quarters,
Yeah.
midway through the third quarter, I expect the Commanders to
See,
put an end to it.
do you know what that sounds like though? See, I agree with you. You know what that sound? It sounds like the Browns game. That sounds exactly like the Browns.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It
The
does
Browns were.
actually.
That's how the Browns were. The Browns defense initially they were on it, but when that offense kept going three and out, it was getting
Right,
frustrated. It was
right.
like, all right,
Right,
bro.
because it's almost like, dang, like I could barely finish my cup of water before I gotta
Exactly.
go back out here.
I'm
Like,
saying so. I do think it's like that. So give me a score. Give me your exact score for this game.
I'm gonna go Commanders 31, Panthers 20.
Okay, I like that. Okay, go 20. I mean, the defense is bad, so they could definitely get 20 on Washington. I'm going to hey, look, Mike. This for you because my Nigerian voodoo doesn't work anymore, obviously, because we lost. Um, I'm gonna go with the Commanders 35. No, not 35. 38. Carolina 17. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because I
like
do
that
think
too.
because they better. I bet you. I swear they better blow out Carolina on Darrell Green Day. It better not. I better not be stressed out on no Darrell Green Day.
Right.
I swear. Like I
I don't
want
think
this
we
game
will
to be
be though.
over.
I don't think we will be. The
Yeah, I
Panthers
don't
are
want.
in a whole mess, man. A whole mess.
They are, man. They definitely. Probably we may see
Because
Bryce in the game too.
I
That's
was
all.
I was gonna say like Bryce Young is originally when I saw this game on the schedule, I was like, damn, Jaden's got Lamar, Bryce Young, and then Caleb
Yeah,
all back to back to back. But now we got Andy Dalton. So.
yeah, yeah. Bryce Young, he gonna talk. That's his boy, so he'll probably shoot the breeze. They'll shoot the breeze. That's his boy though. So it is what it is.
Yeah, hopefully it gets better for Bryce Young down there in
I mean, I
Carolina. I
root
don't
for
know
Bryce
what's
Young.
going
I
on.
think they screwed him. That's the whole
I
difference.
do too. I
I think
was
it's
I was a supporter when they
me too.
drafted him.
Me too. I think Bryce Young has ability. I don't think he's sorry. It's just that he went to like the way Washington has built around Jayden has been great. Like I know people like they created a scheme for Jayden. Like everything is tailored for Jayden. That's how you're
Yeah,
supposed to coach. That's how you're supposed to coach a rookie quarterback. You look at Caleb in Chicago. Everything like they gave him skill position players. They got Swift receivers. Obviously, they got Keenan Allen. They drafted a Duze. Um, they did. I mean, other than their line's trash, but like they did try to put weapons around Caleb. So they build, they build around the rookie to make life easy for a rookie. I don't know what they did with free. I don't know why they continue. They continue to trash um Bryce Young like in terms of what they gave him. Like what they gave him wasn't good. Like it's not good enough to win
Adam
football games.
Thielen, bro. Like, come
Adam
on.
Thielen's your number, like you got Deontay Johnson. No, like I like Deontay Johnson, but I don't like the art. You
Yeah,
can't say
that ain't
Deontay
enough
Johnson is the
though.
number one.
Yeah,
Like,
bro, that ain't
like,
enough.
look how like the Eagles did with I'll give Eagles credit. I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts dude, but look how they made life easy for Jalen Hurts. Are you a hat? Are you Devontae Smith? But they said that's not good enough. We gotta go and get AJ Brown. Look what they give you. Like, look how we're giving Saquon Barkley. We're gonna make
Right.
life easy for you. Like, we're
And
not
that was
gonna even
on that
like,
was on top of having a top tier O
yes.
line in front of you
Yes,
already. So like,
bruh, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you sometimes like for some dudes make life easy for them. That's why I like that the Patriots didn't play Drake May like that. Like initially, I like you gonna sit him out, but I know I get it. You're so bad. That's up to your
right.
vet is
It's tough
so
to get
bad.
through a season doing that.
Yeah, if your vet's so bad, like it ain't gonna work. That's why. All right, I'm a Michigan fan, so I like JJ McCarthy. That's my guy. I was going to the season like, yo, JJ can sit the whole year. I know Kevin O'Connell can coach Sam Darnold to be an efficient.
Yeah.
Like I knew that. I said JJ can sit a whole year. then JJ gonna learn the system because JJ smart. He gonna learn the whole system. And the following year, JJ gonna rock out. Like he gonna kill, but he gonna sit this whole year. This is good for JJ. So like I'm into that thought process. But again, that team still was built around, like it was built good enough. If JJ did play, he had weapons. You have arguably the best receiver in the game. You got an awesome number 2 in Addison. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jordan Addison. Like you got a good tight end. You got weapons, bro. Like, but sometimes when you set your quarterback and give him no weapons, a rookie quarterback give him no weapons, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get what Bryce Young getting.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's another dude with the confidence straight broken, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because the way he was looking this season, I'm like, man, like y'all put him out there with you know what I'm saying, basically dudes off the street damn near, and then go win us a football game. It was never gonna happen. I don't even think it's gonna happen with Andy Dalton. The Panthers have one of the worst rosters in football, bro.
They had one good game, but that was fool's gold. If you really want to keep it being, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
The Panthers are that team. If they get a win this season, it's because the other team was looking ahead. You know what I'm saying? People were sleep on them, like that kind of thing. Like I can't see the Panthers beating nobody this year.
I don't think so either. I think they're about to be. Look. I think it's over for Bryce over there. They may be trying to get a wild pick. I hope Shador don't go there either. I swear.
That would be terrible, bro. I'm just glad Dallas locked up Dak and he's not going to Dallas.
I know. Well, I know what. According to Michael Irvin.
That's another thing too, man. Dallas is looking ridiculous. Hey, I'm definitely gonna have to pop back on here when we start getting into these divisional games, man.
Yeah, bro. Anytime, bro. Hey, before we end this pod, bro, let folks know how they can catch you on social media and how they can again.
Oh, yes, sir. Follow me on all socials at YoungRome22. That's all socials: Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want to get at me on. And then check me out on the Sports for the Culture podcast live Tuesdays at 10:30. And you can follow us at Good Ass Sports on Twitter and subscribe on YouTube.
My man, hey, Ron, man, thanks for being on. Probably gonna get you back on, man. Appreciate you, homie.
No problem, man.
Good work, man. Take it easy, man. My guy. Oh, man, it's awesome, man. Rome, I told y'all, we going to look out for folks out here, bro. That's what we do out here. You know what I'm saying? That's good work, man. Rome is good, man. He knows his football. You could definitely tell he knows his football, man. Hey, I'm supposed to be out in these streets. I ain't going to lie to y'all, so I'm trying to get – I was supposed to be out by 9 o'clock. But Rome was so good, and I thought I was vibing the show. I decided to stay another 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, we'll see what happens with the Commanders, man. But my main thing is we better do well on Darrell Green Day. Like that's the most important thing for me. Darrell Green Day is essential to me. Darrell Green was like my favorite Commander, so Redskin. I'm stop saying Commander. He's my favorite Redskin. So we need to make sure we show out for DG. But all right, folks. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. If you're on YouTube right now, I'm gonna check my YouTube channel right now. Let me see. Did we get added? I'm trying to get to this. I'm trying to get to 800. And some of y'all be. Nah, it's the same. I need y'all to subscribe. If you on right now, subscribe. I know some of y'all be on and don't be subscribing. Subscribe, all right? I'm trying to get to this 800. So make sure you help us get to 800. Also, check out the home of the Urban Sports Scene, which is our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. All right, man. Thank you all for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Giddy deuces. Your boy is out.
Peace.